These are the first dollars spent in this city to begin. It don't. I'm sorry, I'm getting triggered, man. It don't matter what city it's done in. It's about. I'm sorry. Let me begin. These are the first dollars spent in this city to begin the process of studying both restoration and reparations. I don't fucking believe what I'm reading. Johnson said, "Is this nigga Tether or something? Is he like really? Is he like from like? Know, is this people from descendant of slaves or something? Is this some kind of like? Is he like I don't know some other shit or something where he's just running game on us?
Don't know, but
it's politics.
Politics. That's what you read. This politics.
It's just
talk.
a bunch of
bullshit.
It's a bunch of
they already know what you done to us.
BS.
He grew up in the era where they fucked him. Like he grew up in it, so it's like he knows. He don't have to pay nobody. But maybe they kind of say these are the type of procedures you have to do. I mean, motherfuckers they ain't doing this shit for the Jews because shit they taught that shit to you in school. They killed a lot of motherfucking Jews. We need to help the Jews. White people killed a lot of black people. Can't help the black people.
Right.
You know amazing? For real.
Black people just love this reparation word. So a lot of people just saying it to get you all hyped. But ain't shit behind it really. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sorry, this dude has just been overly hyping himself and he ain't did nothing right since the day he came in this bitch. I hate to say it, he wasted a lawyer life for it. We probably never get another black person in this bitch for another 1,000 years because every goddamn nigga that came up in there, they shitted on the job.
Isn't that amazing?
So it's like, they're just fucking terrible. I mean, then he's already talking about raising property taxes like he said he wasn't going to do. But he was talking about the cost of houses like $1 million. But it's still, that's what that star said. Then they go, so we can't do it just to them. We got to do it to everybody else. So then it's going to be tax hikes across everybody. So, and it's just to pay for a bunch of people that I feel like we don't really have to deal with. They always say fuck the laws when it comes to everything else. Send them motherfuckers back. I do like the British people did with their crisis. They ship motherfuckers to worse places. They learned to stop doing that shit.
Today is about, like, again, Brandon Johnson and his recent claim of pushing for reparations in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? And apparently, I guess he trying to get black people in Chicago $500,000. So let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this article.
Is that $500,000 each?
Hell nah.
He's trying to get a collective.
We wish.
What the fuck you supposed to do with $500,000 as a whole to give to all these black people?
Man,
that's like what? Stop. That's a couple $100 per person, maybe $50.
And everybody is getting motherfucking millions.
Yeah, that's disrespectful. You can suck my dick.
All the black people,
black
people in America.
No, black people in Chicago, I believe.
Oh,
right?
blacks in Chicago.
In Chicago, right?
Blacks in Chicago.
There's a lot of black people in Chicago.
It's like a couple of million of us here in Chicago.
Yeah.
We definitely gonna run.
What the fuck you supposed to do with $500,000?
$500,000.
That's not even. Yeah. Wait, that's not even like $1.
Come on now. I mean, we're gonna run numbers. We're gonna run the numbers. How many black people?
And that shit better be
500
per person.
It gotta be 500 per person. It can't be. It can't be 500,000 as a whole program.
And then we don't want no schools. We don't want no playgrounds. We don't want none of that shit. We want cash. Cause what the fuck we gonna do, man?
Yeah,
I been gave up on college. So I don't want to fucking go to college. I don't want no student forgiveness, none of that shit.
All right, so let's see exactly what they talking about, though. Let's see what exactly they talking about. Let me get this door.
How they lock themselves out?
All right. So we're gonna pretty much read this word for word, y'all. Okay. Nearly 3.5 years ago, Chicago officials, spurred in part by the demands of racial justice that swept the nation in the wake of police murder by George Floyd in Minneapolis, promised to study whether and how the city should pay reparations to Chicagoans who are descendants of enslaved African Americans. The effort never got off the ground. But that push will get new life next year with Brandon Johnson back. This year, by the way. This article came out last year. But that push will get new life next year, with Mayor Brandon Johnson backing the creation of a new subcommittee to study the issue and agreeing to earmark $500,000 in his 2024 spending plan to fund it. Oh, so that's what it's about. He's agreeing to earmark $500,000 in his 2024 spending plan to fund the panel's work.
First of all that study shit, that don't mean nothing. That's like that's hot. That's what the fuck they call that shit when they
Isn't that amazing?
Politic talk. That shit don't mean nothing.
He's putting $500,000 in people's pockets to quote unquote study.
He's doing what California did. 'Cause that's exactly what California did. They pay a bunch of people to study the program, then they come back with a solution that they believe benefits the people. So, but the problem is California already done the work.
Well, pick
so
me
you
for the
could just-
500,000.
Pick the Chicago Black Delegation, and we'll get this shit done in probably about like a month.
You know how, hey, you know how much the economy will rise if you gave one of us 500,000. But see, they'll probably pick some dusty ass nigga or some hood red ass female and give it to them and be like, see, it don't work. Because they went out and bought weeds and Cadillacs and fried chicken. You got it. That
Isn't
shit.
that amazing?
I mean, like, let's just keep it honest. A study don't mean shit. Just go and get all the black people what the fuck they need to give them. It's like...
No, it's not even that. Because they trying to act like they don't know what the fuck they did to us. So
right.
Just hold a referendum.
It was so long ago, we can't really remember what actually happened.
Well, I wasn't. Yes, you were fucking born. You're like fucking 85. You were doing this shit. What are you talking about?
I was 85 years old. You was born on a plantation.
You know what I'm saying? So California definitely spent a lot of time trying to figure out where the money coming from and who deserves what, all type of nonsense. It don't take that long to figure this stuff out. As a matter of fact, there's already books like Powernomics here and a handful of others that go into detail about just what has happened, what has not just slavery itself, but it's remnants of slavery, such as Jim Crow, the attitudes towards Black Americans during that time period, all of the legislation that was very anti-Black during that time. All of the work has already been performed by many of intellectuals that studied this during virtually their entire political lives, right? So why do we need to give $500,000 to another, like a whole new panel to just start the work all over again? Like, are you freaking serious?
A subcommittee at that.
Come on, bro. So let's continue on here. These are the first dollars. I'm already mad about this. The first dollar, son. Mm-hmm. Oh my. Okay, let me relax. These are the first dollars spent in this city to begin. It don't. I'm sorry, I'm getting triggered, man. It don't matter what city it's done in. It's about. I'm sorry. Let me begin. These are the first dollars spent in this city to begin the process of studying both restoration and reparations. I don't fucking believe what I'm reading. Johnson said, "Is this nigga Tether or something? Is he like really? Is he like from like?
No,
is this people from descendant of slaves or something? Is this some kind of like? Is he like? I don't know, some other shit or something where he's just running game on us."
Don't know, but
it's politics.
Politics. That's what you read. This politics
it's just
talk.
A bunch of
bullshit.
It's a bunch of
they
fluffy,
already know what you done
fluffy
to us.
BS.
He grew up in the era where they fucked him. Like he grew up in it, so it's like he knows. He don't have to pay nobody, but maybe they kind of say these are the type of procedures you have to do. I mean, motherfuckers they ain't doing this shit for the Jews because shit they taught that shit to you in school. They killed a lot of motherfucking Jews. We need to help the Jews. White people killed a lot of black people. Can't help the black people.
Right.
Isn't that amazing?
For real.
See, I think it's fear. That's what I think it is. It is fear of what we will become if they finally, for once, take the foot off our necks. Oh, yeah. That's what it is. It's like it's no other reason for what y'all do. Like y'all literally try to put us in prison all the time. Everything we do get criminalized. We literally can't fucking breathe hardly and get criminalized. A little bit else of weed get criminalized. The same shit with Bill Clinton when they did with the crack era when they was making motherfuckers spend 5 years in jail for a little bit of piece of crack. Mm-hmm. It's just whatever they can do to keep us down. You know what I'm saying? That's what that's how they do it.
Keep us in our prison because that prison pays us almost virtually nothing, but it pays America billions.
It's a fear because they know something about us that we don't know about ourselves.
Oh, word.
So that's a fear. It's a fear of something that we ain't discovered about us yet, and they know. They know, we just don't know.
I thought you was against something like us like getting revenge or something like that when we get the money.
Man, that's like a cover up. That's like BS. So
do you think there's something past that?
They know that black people aren't inherently violent. We are like inherently good warriors. We are good fighters. That doesn't necessarily correlate with violence, though. I think a lot of people get that mixed up because we have such a past history of being very good warriors and very good fighters. They think that automatically equips to just violence. No, we're not violent. The other folks are violent. The pale skinned people, those are the violent ones. We're not inherently violent. All we want to do is get out of our situation. It's just like with the study they did of rats, and I don't want to go on too long, but they did the study of rats and put them in a certain environment. And when them rats was in that certain environment versus the rats that was in a good environment, those rats that was in that bad environment became very violent, and they became like very slothy, very lazy, and unintelligent. They took those same rats and put them into a good environment. Those same rats all of a sudden became more proficient, more intelligent. So it matters by the environment that we put in. If we constantly going to be in this environment, we'll never be able to grow. That's the only thing I want black people to see is that if we don't realize the environment we in, we'll never grow. We too worried about fucking Jordans and shaking our ass at the club and all of this other nonsense ass shit. And these motherfuckers is got pure fucking mind game war tactics against us. This goes bigger than just reparations. For me, I think getting the money is fine, but there also need to be some financial literacy and
that's
stuff
that got to come along. So that's what we're here for, right? Absolutely. To create a platform so people can kind of call in. You know what I'm saying? But we organize something to not just talk about financial literacy stuff. When reparations does hit us, we know what to do with that bread and flip it in proper ways. But
Sorry to go so long. I'm just
back on what you said, but it's a little bit more than fear. This country has never really thrived without slaves. Prison system is just a new slave system. This country is built on that, and they never really changed it. They just changed their tactics of it. So for you to tell them they're gonna stop slavery, like this, it's a video with this sheriff. I forget what county he's in.
Modern day slavery. Yeah.
I'm just saying. No, this is sheriff. A sheriff. He's literally on the podium. This is like live shit. He is mad because they are letting motherfuckers out of jail.
In addition to the bad ones, and I call these bad. In addition to them, they're releasing some good ones that we use every day to wash cars, to change oil in our cars, to cook in the kitchen, to do all that where we save money. Well, they're going to let them out.
Okay. He's just mad because they're letting people out of jail. He say they letting all the motherfucking goons out. Like, who going to wash our car? Who going to do this work right here? Y'all don't understand. Yeah, he really said that. Wow. He said, hey, this going to cost us money. Who's going to do these jobs for these pennies? And he was furious. He was mad as fuck. He like, bro, y'all can't be letting the motherfuckers out. He said, y'all letting the bad ones out and the good ones. What do I got? He literally said, we need people to do this work for cheap. And we ain't got nobody to do it for cheap. He said, the taxes going to go up.
All right. So let's pick up where we left off here. When residents who have experienced neglect and disinvestment for generations speak out of their pain and their trauma, this administration and the Black Caucus, we hear you. Alderman Stephanie Coleman, 16th Ward, the chair of the Chicago City Council's Black Caucus, said the subcommittee is likely to be part of the City Council's Committee on Contracting, Equity, and Oversight, which is led by Alderman Emma Mitz of the 37th Ward. That panel will meet for no more than a year and then transition to a full commission, Coleman told WTTW News. If y'all want to say something, just go ahead and say something. Just cut me off. We are laying the groundwork to do more than just talk about the issue, Coleman said. In 2019, Evanston officials set aside $10 million in revenue from cannabis sales to help black residents buy homes through mortgage assistance programs and fund home improvements as part of.
We don't want that shit neither.
I mean, no, they took. I heard about. They gave. I think if you was born in like the '60s, or you know what I'm saying, around the '60s, '50s, they gave them like 20,000. You know what I'm saying? A couple black people didn't need it. They gave it to their kids. So, I mean, the money was a use to some people. You know what I'm saying? They got like 20,000. I mean,
they gave them physical money.
Yeah, physical money. Physical money.
Okay.
Yeah. Evanston in that community, if you lived in Evanston from a certain time period, and you was born in young, they gave you that money.
Okay.
I mean, no hesitation.
Okay.
Shout out to Evanston.
You know what I'm saying?
As part of an effort to other reparations to the descendants of formerly enslaved people, in March, the Evanston City Council expanded that effort to offer $25,000 to end no strings attached direct cash payments for those eligible.
Okay.
Coleman said she would explore a similar plan for Chicago using revenue from cannabis sales and renew her effort to require Chicago businesses to comply with the 20-year-old law and disclose whether they profited from slavery. Coleman was the chair of the subcommittee on reparations, which was created in June 2020 when Mayor Lori Lightfoot objected to calls from former Alderman Roderick Sawyer of the 6th Ward to form a commission to study the issue, but grudgingly agreed to the formation of the subcommittee. That panel met only twice, and Coleman's efforts to get additional funding for the committee set aside in the 2022 and 2023 budgets under Lightfoot was unsuccessful. However, Johnson touted the push at a news conference on Thursday, fully embracing the effort in a way that his predecessor never did, calling his support for the study of reparations a reminder of his administration's commitment to working to right the wrongs of the past that held black Chicagoans back from achieving their full potential. This is not a zero-sum game, Johnson said. We will invest in people and provide for every single Chicagoan. Coleman and other Black Caucus leaders pushed for the renewed effort to study reparations. Here we go with that study nonsense again. Study reparations for Chicagoans descended from enslaved people, as well as efforts to expand the assistance available to formerly incarcerated Chicagoans with an additional $5 million as part of negotiations over Johnson's 2024 budget, which is set to be approved on November 15th. This year's budget negotiations have been shaped by an intense focus on the amount of money the city expects to spend on housing, feeding, and caring for the men, women, and children sent to Chicago from the southern border. This 2024 spending plan sets aside just $150 million to care for the migrants, even though that is less than half of what the city will have spent to care for Chicago's newest arrivals through the end of 2023. Johnson has acknowledged that won't be enough to last through the entire year. The migrant crisis is likely to cost taxpayers $361 million between January and December of 2023, according to the latest financial projections released by the mayor's office.
Wow, that's insane.
Any statements about what I just read, especially regarding the migrants, I guess, cutting in on this idea?
I hate to say it, man. I ain't got no problem with those people, but it's fuck them. I'm sorry. Y'all gotta go back to where the fuck y'all came from. Because look, taxes already high, right? When you look at your check, they take about like 36% of your money. So by them saying that, they're gonna take probably about 38, almost 40% of my money. That's to feed some other people, and we didn't do that shit for our own people. So all I'm saying, we ain't do it for our own people. I don't see why we supposed to do it for some random motherfucking people. It makes no sense. And you stressing me out to take care of some other motherfuckers, but when black people ask for anything, there is no money. So the same shit goes for them. It ain't no money. We ain't got $1 for you.
But King, man, they seeking asylum from a country that
Everybody's
that failed
seeking
them.
asylum. We ain't the Justice League of the world. I'm sorry, whatever they tell you on your television, but we are not the Justice League. It ain't no Superman, ain't no Tony Stark, ain't no Batman, ain't nobody with
Just Homelander.
Just a bunch of Homelanders.
Just everybody.
A nation
Everybody
Homelanders.
Homelander.
So, they need to stop telling people this shit. Like all the people that came over here, they talking about we were upset. We saw like Hollywood. We thought it was gonna be like Hollywood. Hollywood is a fictional place. Hollywood, outside of Hollywood, is thousands of bums on the street.
Oh yeah,
They
Right
don't see
outside
that
Hollywood.
part. They think this is some lovey-dovey shit, a great fantasy place. The American dream is a shit dream. I promise you, it's a shit dream. It's not that great.
Beta baby.
Yeah, that's Hollywood for you, bro. Anybody else got any statements, Jay?
Oh man, no. It's like to see that get shot down so many times by Lori Lightfoot, it's just crazy.
Oh yeah, you did pick up on that, huh?
Yeah, that's insane because like she know that we the reason why she was even in office.
And
Hoping,
she like, nah, fuck that reparation shit.
you know what I'm saying? She man, and what she got a white wife.
I think she just know the game is that your white counterparts ain't gonna allow you to do it.
Yeah.
So might as well not even try to play the dance
Don't
in
even-
front of y'all and do all that capping.
Like, I
See,
ain't
he's
gonna-
trying to do all this capping because
He knows gonna
He
keep him
know-
in office a little.
Hold on,
people
Jay,
are mad at him.
Hold on. What you say, Jay?
No, I'm just going on what he's
Oh,
saying.
okay,
Like
okay.
he's just using that to keep himself, keep his numbers up.
You know what I'm saying? He just doing a lot of capping. I mean, he know people are upset. And everybody, black people just love this reparation word. So a lot of people just saying it to get you all hyped. But ain't shit behind it, really. You know what I'm saying? And I'm sorry, this dude has just been overly hyping himself, and he ain't did nothing right since the day he came in this bitch. I hate to say it, he worse than Lori Lightfoot. We probably never get another black person in this bitch for another 1,000 years because every goddamn nigga that came up in there, they shitted on the job.
Isn't that amazing?
So it's like they're just fucking terrible. I mean, then he's already talking about raising property taxes like he said he wasn't going to do. But he was talking about the cost of houses like $1 million. But it's still, that's what that star said. Then they go, so we can't do it just to them. We got to do it to everybody else. So then it's going to be tax price across everybody. So, and it's just to pay for a bunch of people that I feel like we don't really have to deal with. They always say fuck the laws when it comes to everything else. Send them motherfuckers back. I do like the British people did with their crisis. They ship motherfuckers to worse places. They learned to stop doing that shit. They literally came in, they said to where it was worse. They said, okay, we're not going to keep doing this. We're going to places where we're really going to die.
Hell
so
no.
stay where the fuck you at, man. I'm sorry.
You know what this leads me to believe? That these motherfuckers ain't got no power. That there's somebody that's in the background really pulling the strings. Probably telling Johnson, like, man, if you don't fucking say this or do this, I'm gonna fucking blow your head off. Like, I really believe that this motherfucker is just like a ping pong or something. Like, he going this way, that way, this way, that way. If I was to just be honest, man, I think this entire city is ran by undercover gangsters, ran by people
Absolutely.
that's a syndicate that literally don't they orchestrate what they want to happen. And I'm telling you, the people that run this United States, run these cities, run all this corrupt shit, the last thing they want to see is black people coming together. The head of the creator of the FBI, he even said that himself. He said, I don't fear them being violent. I fear them coming together. So us being in a better position, that is the most fearful thing for them. So they got a fucking puppet like this dude, Johnson, and the little manly looking chick, what's her name? Lori Lightfoot, Uncle Lightfoot, and they got them and just running them. They just puppets. They just like, this is what's happening. These people, they really don't have a say so, man.
Here, I got anybody had something else to say before I jump in? No. So I got like a bit of a theory. This is what I'm gonna take as far as voting, because like I said, this the people done spoken already. The black mamas, black aunties, and stuff like that. They definitely showing up and showing out, speaking with their heart. I couldn't be happier about their involvement in this whole process. They flat out told that man, "Hey, we trust you when you first walked up in here, and look what you did, and we seeing what you're doing to us and our families." You know what I'm saying? And when the next election roll around, this is gonna be something we're not gonna forget. And this one woman was very vocal to say that, hey, Green Party members, Libertarians, Republicans, it's time for y'all to speak up, because we just might, because this might be time for us to start voting for y'all. You know what I'm saying? So this is what I would say as a response to that and this whole situation at large. Unfortunately, it doesn't stop with not vote for Brandon Johnson. You know what I'm saying? It's not just Brandon Johnson that's the problem. It's just it's real said. There's somebody that's behind him pulling the strings. We're not really gonna be able to find out who the puppet master is, I would say. But the best I got for as a response to that is check out his network. If I don't know how you're gonna I don't know how to do it, right? And I'm not saying to do this, right? But what I am saying is the people around him is the people you gotta look out at. Because the people around him is the ones that's influencing Brandon Johnson's decisions. Whether it's the people that's actually that's donating money to him, or just like the people that's in his cabinet, that's in his corner, stuff like that. Those like find out whom Brandon Johnson is affiliated with, and if you see those same faces for the next up and coming like mayor elections and all this other stuff, you will know it's a good idea to generally avoid those types of people because you're likely again to get a repeat of the showings of Brandon Johnson, Lori Lightfoot. How was Rahm Emanuel when he was mayor?
He wasn't the greatest, but he was okay.
Right, so you know what I'm saying.
I'm gonna say this: he didn't do nothing, and he ain't fucked nothing up. That's what he kept that shit like that.
All right.
I mean, that's all Mayor Day did too.
He ain't helping nobody.
They didn't fuck nothing up. Didn't help nobody. They just left it like this.
So these black people
and black people okay with it, just being like this.
Right.
As long as they do this.
Don't try to put nobody up above us and shit. Like have people come over here.
We just here. We here. We can deal with that. We can live in a society when it's just like this.
Don't try to lock us up.
Don't
be trying to do all that shit. You know.
Yeah.
And these motherfuckers was tripping.
All right. So. How you feel about this dude last name being Johnson, by the way? Anyway, so Johnson has called on state and federal officials to provide additional aid to Chicago and help care for their migrants. Nearly 3,100 migrants are living in police stations. Well, this is back then. They moved them out into luxury hotels.
Really?
Currently living in luxury hotels across the city and O'Hare International Airport, with another 12,000 migrants living in the city shelters as of Wednesday, according to city data. Again, this is a past article, and there's much. And these people ain't stopped coming since this article came out. Since the group of migrants sent to Chicago on a bus. I'm sorry. Since the first group of migrants sent to Chicago on a bus by Republican Texas Governor Greg Abbott arrived nearly 16 months ago, more than 20,500 people have made their way to Chicago, straining the city's social safety net and exposing deep tension between Chicago's Black and Latino communities. Okay, so let's talk about this for a brief moment. King, do you have any insight about Latinos, at least the ones that's within your networks or within your circle, their attitudes towards the Venezuelans and Salvadorians coming to Chicago and receiving these grants and such?
They don't like that shit. They say they're making Hispanic people look bad, and motherfuckers need to go back where the fuck they came from. That's coming from them. I mean, they coming in. They're coming in here getting a lot of free shit. Most Mexicans that came here, they worked for what they got. They didn't beg nobody. Our taxes didn't go up when they came.
Even the immigrants.
That's what I'm saying. Nothing really changed. They worked for theirs. But these migrants,
imagine they also pay taxes.
Yeah, and yes, immigrants do pay taxes. Even illegal immigrants pay fucking taxes. They pay taxes. They actually pay more taxes than you. And that's actually a nice little business. This is why they say the Democrats and the Republicans really won't stop this, because it's a lot of money being made while this is happening. You see what I'm saying? You're not paying attention to it, but it's a lot of money being made for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? So, because like they said, they tax them more. So with these migrants, they're going to get taxed more. When they get jobs, they're not going to pay the same type of taxes you pay. This is why they say they can help with the inflation, because they're going to fuck them. You know what I'm saying? But they're also going to fuck us too, because they're taking up a lot of our resources. That's the problem. Like Joe Biden said, he just issued about another 350,000 jobs in this January quarter, calling the American economy the most booming economy in the world. But we're watching big companies fire thousands of people every day. So who's telling the truth here? Because that shit don't make no sense. You see what I'm saying? So it's fucked up, and it's just Mexican people don't want to deal with them. They don't even want them here. So why? And they study putting them on the black people. Like it's thousands of motherfuckers live where I live. It's thousands of them. You know what I'm saying? They throwing them off on us. They won't even throw them in the Mexican neighborhoods. They won't even do that because the Mexican people keeping them out their neighborhoods. They're not dealing with them.
It's crazy. Any other comments? Let me see. Okay, so yeah. So efforts by Johnson and his administration have left many black leaders deeply frustrated and angry that the city is spending millions of dollars to house mostly the Latino immigrants and black communities that have suffered from decades of disinvestment, grinding poverty, and rampant crime and violence. I've seen some black immigrants voice their frustrations about being left behind in all of this, and they're claiming there's a lot of racism going on, right?
Can I say one more thing too? A lot of these Venezuelan Ecuadorians, these are criminals. Like literally last week, a little white girl got raped and killed by a lot of Venezuela.
A mother who is suing the Department of Homeland Security for $100 million after a suspected gang member who crossed into the U.S. illegally brutally raped and murdered her daughter. Kayla Hamilton was strangled with a phone cord in July of 2022, days after her 20th birthday. She had autism. Now her mother says if the federal government had properly screened the suspect, they would have realized he was a known member of the infamous MS-13 gang, which would have prevented him from coming into the U.S., and her daughter would still be alive. We are joined now by the victim's mother, Tammy Noble.
Boy, he was like 16-year-old, and he was known to be a cartel member. She's suing the Homeland Security and the government for $40 million.
Ooh, $40 million.
Because they have a database on every immigrant that came in here. They literally know what crimes they done, what gang they in, everything like that, but they put them on our streets. They're making us want to have to fight a war with these because they're not families. They keep saying these are families. No, these are just men. It's a lot of fucking men. When you go out over my hood, bro, they be having cars, 6, 7 of them. It's all men. You getting out these bitches, and they bust and swerve. They getting guns. They doing what they do. They doing just what they did at the crib, and they throwing them in our neighborhood because we're going to have to deal with them. We're going to have the ones that have to fight them, and we're going to go to jail, and we're the ones that's going to die.
Yeah, especially when that funding starts to slow down. Right, and those jobs don't come like they think they're gonna.
They're gonna do what they do.
They're gonna pull out their guns, and they might do something. They might. I'm just saying, it's so if you're black and living in the city, even in the suburbs, it might be time for y'all to start investing in your weapons. You know what I'm saying? Just for your own protection. And this is not no type of. I'm not advocating for no type of crazy, actions by one group of people against another group of people. All I'm saying is, for your own safety, man, you need to protect yourself. You feel me? So like I said, let me read this rest of this part first. I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say. So Coleman said she didn't want to mix apples and oranges when comparing the amount of money earmarked in Chicago's 2024 budget for priorities outlined for the Black Caucus and fund dedicated to helping the migrants, who are all in the country legally after requesting asylum. Ain't that something? This is just a start of what's necessary to help black people, Coleman said. A step in the right direction. So yeah, I go ahead, Jay.
I just got a question. So they basically getting expedited to be legally in this country by seeking asylum.
Yep.
It seems like as soon as from what this woman just said, correct me if I'm wrong. It sounds like she said they show up at the border and how to explain this? The border security took one good look at them and just gave them one of these, and then all of a sudden they're legal migrants. They're illegally.
I mean, they're not
here.
even going through border control. They just walking through this motherfucker. It ain't nobody out there.
Oh, my bad. I gave them too much credit. Go ahead.
Nobody out there. That's what I'm saying. They just coming over, and then they getting stopped, and then they getting documented. But it's nobody really stopping them. That's why people are banding together to go protect the border. I mean, I understand y'all about to call them radical Americans, but hey, man, somebody got to do it. But the problem is they about to do a hard job that nobody's willing to do because they're about to. I hate to say it, they're going to kill these people if they don't go back to where they come. They're going to get to shooting these people.
So and all of this because of a not okay. I'm sorry. Let me stop that. Yeah, that's like that. Texas breaking off and trying to do his own thing. I mean,
not just Texas. It's 25 states.
Oh, it's 25 states is actually
25 states. The South, basically the whole South. The whole South wants to break off from America. And now I don't know how far they're gonna go with it, but this has always been his goal. He said this before, but now you're giving him a lot of fuel and ammunition with this migrant shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They getting tired of it. The whole South is just getting tired of the North dictating what they do down here. They all are one collective, and that's 25 states. That's a lot of power. That's half. That's split damn near. So you know what I'm saying? So if that really happens, then you got Putin jumping into business, and you got Canada. They willing to give them support. Support means an army. That means guns. That means you can say, I'm not doing what you're telling me anymore. And if we have that type of division on our soil, we haven't had that in the last, 200 years.
I'm going to down south.
Yeah.
That's where I'm going.
I don't know because they don't like black people down there. So
well, I mean, Texas seems to be doing pretty good with
people
black
that hell, we're gonna have to get together because this shit is getting way out of hand. We either gonna fight each other or we gonna let them keep coming over here taking over because eventually they're gonna take over if we keep letting them just flood it.
It's not just Texas though. It's 25. It's 25 states.
Yeah. Any comments, Jay?
So
I almost feel like it's because it's always been like a culture down south where they felt like it's different from up here. So it's like y'all saying, like they just gonna use this as fuel to further their own cause.
Yeah. So yeah, like but as far as this here Chicago, situation is concerned, it's a lot to do with the fact that Brandon Johnson gave everybody a false sense of security. It made everybody believe that everything will be under control when there was nothing fucking planned for. Like if there's no I don't know how else you can really explain this. Like you can't there's not a lot of great things that kind of happen without like some sort of strategy, without some sort of planning. You can't this is not a fucking anime where you just rely on the power of friendship and then all your dreams come true, or Spirit Bomb fucking wipes out Frieza. That's not gonna fucking happen in the real world. As a matter of fact, you saw him try to. We all know that he's been asking Joe Biden for some assistance regarding this migrant crisis. Joe Biden said no. So what do we do from here? Defend ourselves, right? Mm-hmm. Because if the government is not gonna do anything, they're gonna sit and watch us scratch each other up and all this other stuff. Well, I mean. I'm not a fan of inciting no violence and stuff like that. I'm just gonna say y'all black folks had better decide to protect yourselves as soon as possible. Mm-hmm. Any closing statements?
No. I want to say this is all a part of us being a part of the country who, along with the UK, wants to play world police. We got to handle other world issues like us funding what's going on in the Middle East. You know what I'm saying, with Yemen. The thing going on in Yemen with the canal and trade, and then Israel, with us having to take care of those issues, and then have these issues over here, it's just it's leaving us literally with nothing. So yeah, people do need to get smarter with their money and band up and get smarter. Get your arms up. You know what I'm saying? Protect yourself.
Ooh, bars.